Hello there. This is Veronica Valley, and I am back today to talk to you about what are the 5 pillars of sustainable sobriety and why on earth do you need them. So just give me a second. I'm just going to share this into my Facebook group and then we will get started. Grab yourself a pen and paper and maybe a glass of water. And then we're going to go live on Instagram and then we are all set. Okay. Yay, we are now live. Hello, Instagram people. Okay, so we are talking about the 5 pillars of sustainable sobriety and why the hell would anyone need those? So you have heard me talk a lot that alcohol is not your problem. Amazing. Alcohol is not your problem. It's what's underneath that is the problem. So when we stop drinking, when any of us stop drinking, none of us are these like really well-adjusted, emotionally balanced, with EQ and able to deal with relationships and difficult people and all of that kind of stuff with no problem whatsoever, right? You've probably discovered if you've tried to stop drinking or if you stopped drinking for a while, just dealing with life can be a little bit challenging, a little bit hard. So we have to, in many ways when we get sober, we have to learn how to live life. We have to learn skills that we just didn't learn when we were younger. Usually we should learn these things in our family of origin, but most of us weren't taught this stuff in our family of origin, like boundaries, all of that kind of stuff. And we just didn't have the bandwidth. We didn't have the bandwidth to learn this stuff because our bandwidth is taken up with drinking, thinking about not drinking, recovering from drinking. We don't have the bandwidth to grow. So when we stop drinking, we basically need a structure. We need a framework. Basically, it's like the instruction rules to life. That's what we need. So that's what the 5 pillars of sustainable sobriety are. They hold up your sobriety so you don't have to think about it. That's the most important thing. I don't think about being sober. I don't think about not drinking. I don't think about alcohol. It rents no space in my head. I just don't think about those things because I just go about living my life. And the reason I can do that is because I have the 5 pillars of sustainable sobriety in my life. And I work with them and they're really easy. It's not hard. It's not like a ton of effort. And what's great about it is I get this massive reward from doing it. So the 5 pillars of sustainable sobriety, we need them because without a program or structure or instruction manual in how to live a sober life, we will revert back to our old mindset that drinking is a benefit and maybe I can manage it this time and I need alcohol to cope or deal with things. And all of that will become rationalized and justified, and then we will drink because we don't have a better way to live and respond to the world. And this is what these are. So the 5 pillars are movement, connection, balance, process, and growth. And it's not like they're in any particular order. It's not like you do one and then you're done. They're just like cogs in a wheel that you just continue to apply to your life. So movement, the first part of movement is simply exercise. Exercise is the best treatment for depression that we have. If you, and I'm not talking about going and being a CrossFit guru or whatever, some brisk walking outside 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, in 30 days, you're going to notice a massive change in how you feel because of how that affects your brain chemistry. So we have to be exercising because it's a great way to take care of our mental and emotional health. Now, movement also is on another level. We have to be conscious about the direction that our life is going in. Now, how many of you are really conscious about where you are going, what you want your life to be about, who you want to be? Let me ask you this question. Imagine it's your 85, 90, it's your 90th birthday, and you're still got all your faculties, and you want to look back over your life, what do you want it to have been about? Is how it is right now okay with you? Because I know when I was getting sober, if that's how my life was going to be, and I was going to be 90 and I was going to look back over my life, that was not the life I was intended to live. It was a 50% half measure life. And I'm not prepared to settle for that. And I know you aren't either. That's why you're here watching this right now. You want more than that. Now, like me, what I didn't have was the how. I didn't know how to get that point. I didn't know how to make those changes. I didn't know how to get to this life that I could see other people living. I just didn't. Where's the bridge? So first of all, we have to be purposeful about where we want our lives to be, where we want them to go. So it's about setting goals, but it's really so much more about that. It's about becoming the kind of person that you want to be. And how we do that is by becoming congruent. That's therapy speak. In a better way of saying it is our insides and our outsides match. Because when we're drinking, who we are present on the outside is not who we are on the inside. And that causes us pain. So our insides and outsides have to match for us to become the people that we are meant to be and live the life that we want to live. Now, hopefully, I'm 47. Hopefully when I get to 90, if things continue as they are, I can look back and I can be satisfied. It's not perfect, but satisfied that I was on my path, living my purpose. So movement is about not just drifting through life. It's not about sleepwalking through your life. How many people do you know who are sleepwalking through their lives? It's not about being lost in the external world. It's about connecting with the internal world and who you really are. And that's what that pillar is about. So the second pillar is connection. Connection is we all have to have meaningful connection in our lives with other people. So we may know a lot of people, but how many of them really, really know us? So we have to have people who, the way I describe it is people who know our souls. So this is only going to be a small amount of people. It's not going to be everyone, but it means that whatever area of our life we're at, we remain congruent. So we want to remain congruent in whatever, we don't ever want to present a false self, because that, it just doesn't get us anywhere. So it's not about, we want to have like deep, meaningful connection with every single person we know. That would be impossible and exhausting. We want to have meaningful connection with significant people. Now, to do that, there's only one pathway to meaningful connection, and that's through vulnerability. It's only through vulnerability. We have to be vulnerable, but vulnerability is terrifying. In fact, if you've listening, today's podcast on the Soberful podcast is about feel the fear and do it anyway, and we talk a little bit about that. So we have to be vulnerable. But that can be scary. We've been taught in our culture that that's a bad thing, it's a weakness, and none of those things are true. So learning to be congruent, learning that our insides and our outsides match, learning not to present this false self to the world, learning where and when to be appropriate. Those are all things that we need sobriety to learn those things, and we need a little help in becoming that person. So I was that person. I was a fake person. I misrepresented myself all the time. I pretended to like people I didn't like because I wanted their approval. I wanted something from them. I was very manipulative. I had no idea what direction my life was going in. And all of that just crushed me inside. And I'm guessing it's doing the same for you as well. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here listening for this. That is why we drink. So when I say alcohol's not your problem, it's a symptom, that's what I mean. When you take alcohol away, this is what's underneath, and this is what we have to resolve. And that's what I teach people in my programs. So we have to have meaningful connection. It's life-sustaining. It's essential. And this isn't just for us, by the way. It's not just for people with an alcohol problem. It's for everybody. Everybody needs this. These are life skills that everybody needs. We need connection like we need food and air and water. Without it, we do not do well. Okay, so the next pillar is balance. Balance is an art. Whatever the question, balance is always the answer. Balance is always the answer, my friends. So balance is how we balance getting our needs met. So whether you are, your emotional needs, your physical needs, your career needs, your family needs, your social life needs, all of that kind of stuff, we have to balance, and just because I've got that balance today, circumstances will change, and it doesn't mean to say I'll have them tomorrow. So it's a constant exercise in looking at our balance. Am I working too hard? Am I not sleeping enough? Do I need to spend more time with my kids? Do I need to go and have a weekend with my girlfriends? Whatever it is, we always have to be adjusting our balance. And when I work with clients, that's when they're when they feel like they're in bad shape and very uncomfortable in their own skins. If we check their balance and change things, very quickly things start feeling a lot easier and a lot more comfortable. So we always have to work on our balance. Now, process, the fourth pillar. Process is how we deal with our feelings and emotions. So the good news is when you get sober, you get your feelings back. And the bad news is when you get sober, you get your feelings back. And we usually have been masters of people running around not wanting to deal with our feelings because they're scary and we don't understand them and they're uncomfortable and we'd rather not deal with that. Thank you very much. So we stuff them down, we run away from them, but how's that working out for you, right? It doesn't work. All of that stuff is all there, and it's usually stuff from the past, usually stuff from our childhood. Now, the reason that we have feelings that's our navigation system. It's how we navigate and deal with the world. So it's like learning. It's just say you're a pilot and you're getting and you want to go to Russia. You get in your plane and you go up. I know where Russia is. I know where to get there. I'm going to ignore all of my instruments and coordinates and all that kind of stuff. Russia's that way. I'm going to go that way. And off you go and you fly and you land in China. And you're like, what the hell? I thought I was going to be in Russia. That's what it's like living your life without being connected and understanding your feelings and emotions. Your feelings and emotions are simply a guidance system that you can use to live the life that you were meant to live. Now, when we first get sober, they're often a jumble. I will tell you this because we've run away from them and we've pushed them down and we've not dealt with them. We don't know how to do that. So when we stop drinking, they often spill out. And it's a bit of a roller coaster and it feels like we're all over the place. And one minute we feel all right and the next minute we don't feel all right and we don't understand why. That's what process is. Processing, observing yourself with curiosity, not judgment. Sitting with the uncomfortable feelings and asking yourself, why am I feeling like this? Why am I having this response? And having someone to help you dig out and understand where that's coming from and how you can change it. The goal here is that we have appropriate emotional responses to events. When people say to me, like, how do I know, like, when will I be done? When will I be fixed? It's then. We're never done. We have to keep working on ourselves, just like we have to keep exercising. But that's where we get to, is we have appropriate emotional responses to our events, and we are masters of our own feelings. They are not masters of us. And you only get there through process work, which usually needs to be done with another person. Growth. We are here to grow. There is a universal law of life. You're either growing or you are dying. When I was drinking, I was dying on the inside. I was walking and talking and working. I probably looked okay on the outside, but on the inside I was going black and I was dying. Because of all the reasons I've just told you, I was so disconnected from who I really was. I was this fake person, and it was so painful. It is so painful if you are living that life. So when we get sober, we get a chance to reconnect with who we really are. That's my job, by the way. I return people to themselves. And we get the bandwidth back, because we're not thinking about drinking and not drinking and whether we're going to drink and how much we're going to drink. We get that back, and we need that bandwidth so we can grow. You are here to grow, and that never ends. And what I'm talking about is internally, emotionally, spiritually, grow in your purpose. You are here to grow. Now, the thing is with growth, you can't grow without feeling fear. Because when we grow, it takes us to new places. And new places and new experiences and new opportunities are scary. They are frightening for us. So when we grow, we are going to experience fear. So if we have not dealt with fear through our process work, sometimes that can capsize us. So we have to learn how to deal with fear as well so we can grow. So those are the 5 pillars. When those are in place, and they're really easy to put in place, our sobriety and our lives are just so much easier. Now, we are doing a 5-day workshop on these 5 pillars, and that starts not next week, the week after. So 2 weeks, in 2 weeks' time. We are doing a workshop every day on each pillar and doing a real deep dive into what they are, how they work, and how you can apply them to your life. Now, you get access to that 5-day workshop when you're a member of the Sober for Life program. The Sober for Life program is $20.99. That's it. Per month, that's all it is. It's an investment in yourself. I know you have spent that much on alcohol every month, at least that much. So instead of spending that $20 on alcohol that does nothing for you, you could invest it in yourself, and you can get access not just to this workshop, you can get access to our entire library. We just did a workshop yesterday on empowering habits, which is just anchoring discipline and habits in our daily, weekly, monthly lives, so that we are just anchored in our sobriety. And all of the videos are saved in the workshop section. You can save all of that. But the best thing about it is community. It's about finding your tribe. I know when I got sober at 27, and I was just on a call earlier today with someone about finding your sober tribe and how important it is to have a sober tribe. If I had stopped drinking at 27 and continued to hang out with the people that I drank with, but drinking Diet Coke, I don't think I would have made it. But here's the other thing that I discovered. A lot of the people I drank with were not my people. The only thing we really had in common was getting drunk together and having these, stupid adventures. There was nothing real there. So I had to start from scratch. I literally had no friends when I stopped drinking. I had, a couple of people from the past, but really I had to start again. And now I have this amazing sober tribe. And finding your sober tribe and people who get you, because it does feel like when you stop drinking, you are the only one, right? Everyone else seems to be fine. Everyone else seems to be fine with their relationship with alcohol, and you're the only one. So finding a sober tribe is so essential to just really, getting that foundation for sobriety. And that's really the connection. It's community connection. We have to find that sober tribe. So that's the big part of the Sober for Life program it is a sober tribe. Now, membership is open till Friday the 18th, and then it closes this year. It won't open again this year. It's your last chance to get in. When you join, you get access to all of the different things that we have. You get access to the community. All of that is instant. I will be back tomorrow to talk to you about emotional sobriety. We do a lot of stuff around emotional sobriety in the Sober for Life program. The link is in my bio in Instagram. It's in the description here on Facebook if that's where you're watching. If you have questions, reach out to me. And you can cancel anytime. So there's no risk. You can join. If it's not for you, fine, you can leave. But I think if you do join and you have a little kind of poke around, I think that you're going to find that for the value for money is extraordinary, and you will find your sober tribe. So thanks for listening, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.